hidden from the world, lay the village of Eldoria. It was a place of enchantment, where rivers gleamed like silver under the moonlight, and flowers bloomed in colors unseen by mortal eyes. But the true wonders of Eldoria was its women, each one more breathtaking than the last. Men who stumbled upon the village spoke of maidens with eyes like the ocean, lips as soft as petals, and voices that could weave magic into the air. But there was one thing they did not speak of, the rule that bound the village tighter than chains. No man could touch a woman, no love could be shared, no desire could be fulfilled, except by one, the queen. High atop a throne of obsidian sat Queen Seraphina, a woman of immortal beauty, untouched by time, her skin glowed like the moon, and her eye cascaded in waves of ink black silk. The village bowed before her, worshipping her as both ruler and goddess. But Seraphina's beauty was not her own, it was borrowed, stolen from the passion she denied her people. For centuries, she had fed on their longing, keeping them bound by an ancient curse. Once a year, she would choose a man to enter her chambers, and by morning he would be gone, vanished as if he had never existed. Some whispered that the gods took him, others feared something far worse. The women of Eldoria were treasures to be admired, but never claimed. The punishment for breaking this law was simple: death. One evening, as the sky burned with the colors of dust, a stranger wandered into Eldoria. His name was Kai, a warrior from a distant land. His body bore the scars of battles fought and won. He had come seeking only rest, a place to lay his weary head. But as he stepped into the village, breath caught in his throat. The women of Eldoria were unlike any he had seen. They moved like whispers, their beauty enough to make a man forget the world. But it was not just beauty that made Kai at rest. It was her. Among them stood Lyra, a healer with emerald eyes and a quiet grace. She did not meet his gaze at first, but when she did, something unseen passed between them, something dangerous. That night, Kai learned of Eldora's law. He swore he would obey. He was not a fool. He would not invite death upon himself. But fate had other plans. A week passed, and Kai could no longer deny it. He was drawn to Lyra like the tide to the shore. They spoke in whispers, their fingers bruising only for a moment, yet it was enough to send shivers through him. Then one night, Lyra came to him, her hands trembling. Kai, the queen had chosen you. His stomach turned to stone. Tonight, you must go to her chambers, she whispered. But once you do, you will never return. Kai clenched his fist. He had no love for the queen. It was Lyra who had stolen his heart. He could not let fate decide for him. He had to act. That night, as the guard led him towards the temple, Kai made his choice. At the last moment, he turned and ran. Down the winding path, past the golden fountain, he raced towards the healer's hut. Lyra was waiting for him, eyes wide with fear. He seized her by the hand. Come with me, he whispered. She did not hesitate. As their lips met for the first time, the world seemed to crack, the sky darkened, the ground trembled beneath them. A shriek tore through the night, one of rage, one of power. Queen Seraphina stepped into the courtyard, her eyes glowing with fury, flames poured at her fingertips. You have spoken the sacred law, she borrowed. Now, Eldoria will pay. She raised her hand to strike them down, but then something changed. Her skin, once flawless, began to wither. Her beauty faded like dust in the wind. She stumbled, eyes wide with horror. The curse was broken. For centuries, Seraphina had fed on the village denied passion, growing stronger with each forbidden desire. But true love, the love of Kai and Lyra, had shattered her spell. With one final cry, the queen crumbled into ash. As the first light of morning beheld Eldoria, the village stood in awe. The air felt different, lighter, freer. The women were no longer bound by invisible shame. Kai and Lyra stood at the heart of it all, hand in hand. The curse was lifted. The law was no more, and for the first time in centuries, Eldoria was not just a land of beauty, it was a land of true love.